Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back.
Meve shook her head in disbelief as she surveyed the landscape before her. The Nilfgaardians had destroyed everything in their path. Burned farms, trampled fields, leveled orchards.
The bastards!
She hissed.
They mean to cause a famine.
When the Lyrians reached Braithwaite, a small village near Aldersburg, they saw gaunt men and women, more bone than flesh, gnawing on acorns and boot leather. The invaders had requisitioned every scrap of the village's food stores and hauled it off to their nearby camp. In strained voices, the villagers begged the Queen to help them retrieve their supplies.
Milady, Frost'll come before we know it. Fair't help us. Why not a soul will live to see the thaw?
Meve looked around at the blackened, scorched village, at the walking skeletons who dwelled in it. The suffocating smoke bellowing up from the fields sent tears streaming down her face.
I'll do what I can.
Was all she said. She knew this was not the time for a rousing speech. She needed to act.
Milady, milady, have mercy. Where's the rings?
The Lyrians reached the outer defenses of the camp where the Nilfgaardians had taken Braithwaite's food stores. Rayla delivered her report.
3 heavy infantry regiments, Nazari arbalists,
The warrior said.
and I heard neighing, so they've cavalry as well.
Meve said nothing, working it over in her head. The fate of the starving villagers weighed on her heart. But was it worth risking heavy losses to aid them?
The Nilfgaardians keep food in storage and watch it rot while peasants perish from hunger. Will we allow this?
The Queen said, addressing her soldiers. Cried the soldiers.
I didn't think so.
Meve said with a smile as she drew her weapon.
Lyrians, attack! Today our swords shall taste imperial blood!
Are you mad? Don't shake that!
Oh. 152, 154.
Enough chit-chat. Draw your weapon.
Scrubbing duty again? Oh, gods.
My pain serves a purpose.
Again and again and again.
Oh.
Catch 'em all!
There's a time to reap, a time to sow, and a time to die.
Her Majesty knows what she's doing.
Aye. Should have listened to me, old lady. This harvest, we'll be reaping black-clad heads.
bigger they are, easier they are to target.
My spirit's willing and how, but these damn boots are killing me.
Alba!
Ah!
A knight should help. Our codex commands it.
Order will triumph. It must triumph. Wait, you're serious?
Nestela Zweifel!
Ah!
Elherzer.
Yes! Nestela Zweifel!
Your Grace, the battle's won. We've secured the storehouses.
Niamh managed to rout the Nilfgaardian troops and regain the stolen supplies. However, the Queen's good humor faded soon after the battle. Her soldiers began loudly demanding she not return to the village, but keep the food for her troops.
We've nigh empty bellies too, my lady. And whatever we give them, the black-clad bastards will just steal right back. Better to strengthen our own army than the enemy's.
So basically this is a choice between army morale, supplies like gold and wood, or just keeping the people happy and losing the army morale.
Niamh heard the soldiers out. In her heart of hearts, she knew their arguments held much merit. But she only said,
I'd rather fight with a clean conscience than a full stomach.
the Queen's words ended all discussion. The soldiers loaded the food onto carts and made off towards Braithwaite. The villagers welcomed the soldiers with tears in their eyes. One fell to his knees before the Queen.
Oh, milady! You saved us from starvation, from turning one against the other, from eating horrid things. The gods bless ye 7 times over!
Niamh smiled hearing these words, but sadness lingered in her eyes. If the gods truly did reward good deeds and punish crimes, there'd be lightning bolts pummeling the Nilfgaardians day and night.
Our own king left us for dead. Yet you, milady, though from a foreign land, saved our village, saved our lives. Our own king left us for our own king left us for dead. Yet you, milady, though from a foreign land, saved our village.
Okay, I can take this.
Meave's mount reared and flattened its ears, spooked for no visible cause. Trusting in animal instinct, Meave jumped to the ground and felt tremors under her boots. At first they were faint, barely palpable, then grew stronger and stronger.
What's going on?
Meave cried.
Why does the earth tremble?
Before anyone could respond, a scout from the forward guard let out a terrified cry. A moment later, snap trees crashed down around them, and out of the woods came a 30-foot-tall stone giant.
Gods,
Whispered the queen.
what is that?
A golem,
Isbel whispered back.
favorite servant of Nilfgaardian mages.
As if to confirm his words, soldiers marched out from behind the giant, clad in heavy black plate. Their leader, however, wore but a light tunic, and his hands glowed with a strange blue light.
Dithen Quan and Lyrian!
He shouted, giving the order to attack.
Gloire and Ard Feyin!
Saw them. No other way.
Catch!
My powers are yours.
Agart!
Mom, break the mage's spell, and the golem's power will wane to naught.
Fear not! We shall achieve our goal! Hey?
Again and again and again.
The mage! Kill the mage!
There's a time to reap, a time to sow, and a time to die.
Her Majesty is exceptional.
Aye.
Ever have a storm knock out one of your teeth?
Should have listened to me old lady. Coin never stinks, no matter how rank the pouch.
Make love, not war.
Your Grace, it worked!
Raising her shield against the whistling rain of arrows, Meve fought her way towards the Nilfgaardian mage leading the attack. At close quarters, magic arcana would stand no chance against a well-swung blade. Meve roared, delivering a powerful blow. Her blade severed the mage's aorta, and drowning in his own blood, he fell to the ground. He choked out by way of last words. Then the blue aura coming from his hands flickered out, and the stone giant thundered to the ground in pieces. When the dust of the battle had settled, the Queen ordered her men to search the Nilfgaardian camp. In the mage's tent, they found a rare instrument used to communicate at a distance, a megascope. The crystals encrusted in its brass frame were still warm, meaning it had recently been used to conduct a conversation. The burning question was, with whom?
Isbel!
Yelled the Queen. The mage dutifully came closer.
This device. Could you activate it?
Yes, Your Grace. But are you sure?
I am. Get to work.
Isbel nodded, then began calibrating the magic device. Finally, something clicked. A light flickered on, and before Meve's eyes appeared the outline of a Nilfgaardian general.
Speak common, please. I know not your tongue.
Oh, forgive me. I thought I spoke to someone else. Good to see you in good health, Queen. Or ex-Queen, I suppose, would be the more apt title.
Instead of fretting so much over my title, give yours.
Of course. Where are my manners? Duke Adel Ebdahi, Grand Chancellor, Commander of Army Group East. I believe you've heard of me.
No. This is the first time I hear the name Ardel. Ardel what?
I see you've a poor mind for names. Perhaps you should ask your son. He knows me very well.
You whoreson.
Oh, what was I thinking? You're not on good terms, are you? Such a sad story. But don't worry, it'll soon be over.
Is that a threat?
No. A simple prediction. Enough of this. Why use this megascope? What is it you want?
I wanted to see the man who's butchering Edirn. The man responsible for the deaths of thousands of women, elders and children.
Then your desire has been satisfied. It was I who gave the order to cleanse this land of unwanted elements, to prepare it for settlement, for...
Unwanted elements? Those are living folk you speak of.
If you were to look at this war in historical perspective, considering the wider geopolitical context, forget it. It's impossible for you to grasp. Farewell, Your Majesty. Or rather, till next time. For there will be a next time, I assure you.
A quiet fell over the tent. The Queen stepped outside, squinted her eyes against the glare of the burning fields, and swore to herself that when she did see Grand Chancellor Ardal ep Dahi again, he would be a whole head shorter.
Okay, let's see, what did we get?
All destroyed. As if nobody lifted a finger against the Nilfgaardians.
King surely ordered all his armies to return to Aldersburg. Took cover behind its walls.
I do not wish to dismay, but after what we saw at Rossburg...
Enough doomsaying, Gascon.
I smell a leak. 101, 102, 103.
I'll fight to my last breath.
152, 154.
An army's a waste of time for one like me.
Aye. Should have listened to me, old lady.
Fear not. We shall achieve our goal.
What do you want of me?
Off to the front yet again.
You mad? Don't shake that!
Nothing personal, I assure you. This harvest, we'll be reaping black-clad heads.
My prescription, a bit of bloodletting.
My spirit's willing and how, but these damn boots are killing me.
In retreat!
There's a time to reap, a time to sow, and a time to die.
A highly curious case.
A knight should help. Our codex commands it.
Hail Capsa!
So much anger and suffering. For what?
El Herzer.
And voila.
Egreto dum anima est, spes est.
Coming across a small brook, Meve ordered her soldiers to replenish their water supplies. When they returned, it was with empty water skins and troubled expressions.
Milady, the water tastes of blood. Not like black pudding, mind, but rancid, filthy.
Meve had no choice but to march on. She gulped dryly and wondered how to interpret this strange event. An omen, perhaps? A warning from the gods? She soon learned the truth. Following the brook upstream, the Lyrians arrived at a small pool. Bobbing on its surface were dozens of corpses. A young woman caught Meave's gaze, her long hair spread delicately atop the water, wide-open eyes reflecting the sky, a fine nose peppered with freckles, and a gaping wound slashed across her throat.
We shall stop here,
The Queen said calmly.
and give these souls a proper burial. Reynard, send scouts. Tell them they are not to return until they ascertain what has happened here.
When the scouts returned a while later, they brought with them a barefooted peasant they'd found hiding in the woods. They claimed he hailed from Horton, a nearby village, the village whose inhabitants had been murdered.
Them black-clad wretches stormed the village, milady. The devil Threegave at the fore. Rounded us right up, took us down to the lake. Whole village, mind. Then chop, chop, and splosh, splosh. 'Twas I alone gave him the slip.
Meave listened to the man's tale, then placed him in the care of her medics and ordered the Lyrians to break camp. She rode at the head of their column, Reynard at her side, her knuckles gripped white on the reins.
Do we know where this Frigef is stationed?
Our riders report he's pitched camp to the east.
Then let's pay him a call.
They killed all, like Rosberg. My lady, please, make them pay.
Milka, Bezrad, Kristan, all killed. Souls snuffed out to the very last. Could have run for help, I know. But I was afeard. Afeard the black-clads had catch wind of me, hear me. What now? Whatever will I do? Alone? Left all alone? Me lady, buried our valuables for the black-clads came. In the wood, near a big boulder. Got a bit of charcoal? I can sketch the way for you.
Nice, another treasure map. Thank you.
What now? Whatever will I do? Alone? Left all alone? Could have run for help, I know. But I was afeard. Could have run. What now? Could have run. Could have run.
The Lyrians had no trouble finding Vrigef's camp. It was the size of a sprawling town. Meave stopped her caravan and called for a council. The first to speak was Reynard.
Seems our scouts were both right and wrong, Your Grace. They did pinpoint General Threegef, the Butcher of Horton. Unfortunately, they underestimated his detachment. It is much larger and better armed than our own.
That changes nothing.
Meave said, forestalling all protest.
If I leave him unpunished, without so much as an attempt, I shall never be able to face my reflection again. We must attack.
Reynard bowed and passed the order to the Lyrians. Later that same day, Meave and Vrigef's forces stood face to face on the field of battle.
Come out, Frigef! It's time you pay for your crimes!
Watch your heads!
You deserve to die! There! Frigef! I see him! We've got to catch him!
Enough chit-chat. Draw your weapon.
Left, right, left, right.
Ha!
Whoresons.
Should have listened to me, old lady.
As ordered.
Thing about slings, they hide well.
Quick and painful this'll be. This harvest will be reaping black-clad heads. My spirit's willing and how, but these damn boots are killing me.
When will you ever learn?
Off to the front yet again.
Eddard Fane! There's a time to reap, a time to sow, and a time to die.
The Lyrians won the day, despite their foes' distinct advantage. Historians later ascribed Maeve's victory to her light troops' superior maneuverability in the difficult terrain compared to the plate-clad Nilfgaardians. But if you ask me, that wasn't it at all. A storm of fury had been quietly gathering in the Lyrians' hearts, a squall of rage stoked by the Nilfgaardians' unparalleled cruelty towards the conquered. And no one embodied this barbarism more perfectly than General Frigga. Maeve's men were ready to sacrifice anything to see him punished. They dragged the defeated general before Maeve. The Queen wished to learn why he'd ordered the execution of an entire village, how the Nilfgaardians could possibly justify such a crime.
2 weeks prior, I'd sent a detachment to Horton to procure feed. Captain Gaynor commanded it. While he was verifying their grain stores, they barricaded him in the barn. and put it to flame.
The Queen listened to the general's story, her face a mask, betraying nothing.
Murdered. One man was murdered.
Frigga raised his eyes to Mieves. The Queen was surprised to see them wet with tears.
Yes, my lady. My son.
The general's simple words bore pain, grief, and a thirst for revenge that would never be slaked. The Queen had to decide what to do with Frigga. No doubt the general had earned punishment, the harshest possible at that. Yet, such a weighty personage could fetch a hefty ransom, and Mieves' army desperately needed the gold.
So if you ransom him, you're gonna get the gold, but you're gonna lose the army morale. And if you execute him, you will not get the gold, but you will get the army morale.
My father taught me to respect the generals of my enemies. That even in captivity, their arms should not be taken from them. Their guards should greet them in salute.
The Queen said.
But you, Frigga, you are no general. Merely a cutthroat dressed as one. You shall die like the good folk of Horton. Quickly. Summarily.
Frigga received the Queen's decision with sang-froid. He neither struggled nor begged for mercy. He simply laid his head on the trunk. A short moment later, it rolled onto the ground to the Lyrians' deafening applause.
And we've got lots of gold from this anyway, so gold is not the problem. Oh, by the way, let's go get the treasure maps. The first one is here. And the second one. There it is.
Bigger they are, easier they are to track. Thing about slings, they hide well.
So we can get 8 men if we use Isbel, or we can gain army morale if we give 50 gold.
Took but one damned week, and the army was shattered to bits and pieces. Black lads were supposed to grind their teeth against our walls. Bloody empty promise by our leaders. Commander, onward to Ebbing. Bloody idiots.
There's a place for me in your ranks, Your Majesty. I'd so like to serve you. I do so with loyalty deserving of my own king.
A taxidermied unicorn. Strange. What are your orders, Your Grace? Shall we take it?
I've no notion what one could possibly do with such a thing. We ride on.
One boat's all I need. Give me a target. Our ballista, your command. I'm a monster. One boat's all I need. Give me a target.
Okay, I'm definitely gonna use Isbel to cleanse this. And we've completed this card. And we will continue this in the next episode, so if you liked this one, give it a like, dislike if you think it sucked, and see you next time. Thank you.